A warm welcome to you. Welcome to OGTV News at 2. Remember, you can watch us live on Facebook and OGTV and Ogun State Television, YouTube at OGTV Abeokuta, and on OGTV website www.ogtv.com.ng/live. And for the latest news and report, you can check us on this platform X at Ogun TV, on Instagram at Ogun State Television, or download OGTV app on Apple Store and Google Play Store. We now go to the details of the news. Officers of the Lagos State Police Command have fired tear gas to disperse protesters rallying to mark the 4th anniversary of the NSAS protest. Videos seen on Sunday morning showed protesters fleeing as the police fired shots. The protesters had converged around 8:30 a.m. at the toll gate with several banners and placards calling for the full implementation of the report submitted by various judicial panel of inquiry set up after the 2020 protest. In October 2020, thousands of youth gathered in major cities across the country to protest against the constant harassment, killing and extortion by officers of the defunct Special Anti-Robbery Squad, a unit of the Nigerian police. And back home in Ogun State, the Ogun State government has applauded Abeokuta Foundation on its contribution towards child educational development through its scholarship programs. Commissioner for Education, Science and Technology, Professor Abeokuta, made the commendation during the grand finale of the AHF essay debate competition, saying not many people can dedicate their resources towards imparting on the lives of others like the chairman of the foundation. Professor Ariwabo noted that the theme of the event, Modern Day Technology to Education, was apt as the present day of technology inclination, noting that for notable progress and quick results to be achieved, technology has to be integrated.
But for somebody to deny himself or to make sacrifice and then give out part of his own hand and resources, then definitely that person has this spirit of giving in him. And such people should actually be encouraged, it should be appreciated, it should actually be seen as the type of people that can move this nation forward.
The commissioner submitted that it is high time leaders were encouraged to maximize the positive opportunities provided by technology in their day-to-day activities, wishing the participant had a debate best of performance. Speaking, the founder of AHF, Barrister Abeokuta, said the foundation was committed to enhancing educational opportunities for young individuals, focusing on addressing the challenges and barriers in education, ranging from research-driven projects to interactive competition, mentorship sessions, and technology integration, appreciating Ogun State government on its unflinching support to ensure education is taken to an enviable pedestal. Appreciated the foundation, the winner of the competition, Samuel Ojo from African Church Grammar School, Itai Yalode, the first runner-up, Dadisola Oladesu from Abeokuta Girls Grammar School, Senior Unikolobo, and the second runner-up, Damifunri Ajibade from Abeokuta Girls Grammar School, Senior Unikolobo, all in Abeokuta, said it was indeed a privilege to showcase their ability. Moving on, another milestone recorded as Prince Yemisi Adedoyin Shillon was adorned in the prestigious robe by the Crescent University while he bagged the honorary doctorate degree in Science Business Administration. The two-in-one event also featured the commissioning of his upgraded e-library and law books collection in the third citadel of learning, witnessed by dignitaries and management of the institution. Olaide Oloye, who was at Crescent University Abeokuta, now completes the reports.
An engineer, business tycoon, legal practitioner, and a philanthropist, Prince Yemisi Adedoyin Shillon has been awarded an honorary doctorate degree. Prince Yemisi was adorned in the prestigious robe by the Crescent University in Science of Business Administration, honoris causa, with the certificate duly endorsed by the Chancellor, Professor Adiola Gambari, leading the Board of Trustees, Prince Hilon met all the requirements of the varsity and has been awarded for his outstanding qualities.
Happiness is who you are and not what you have. What you have cannot make you happy. It's who you are. We should therefore always try to touch the lives of others.
The latest honorary doctorate degree holder moved to the commissioning of his upgraded e-library and book collections, donated to the Citadel of Learning in his way of giving to the education sector and extending a hand of fellowship.
This is a great achievement and a great donation for students in law, and those students that will be using these facilities will forever be grateful to yourself.
The latest honorary doctorate degree holder did not forget to give thanks to the late founder and management of the university while charging the students to make good use of the equipment.
The world has changed. The world does not depend on this. With the e-library, what has changed in the law last week will be reflected in the e-library. But it's not going to be reflected in the book until the book is published. That's the difference. So this e-library makes an in-situ provision of knowledge as judges are making pronouncements in court. 2-3 weeks later, somebody is typing it into the appropriate app, and our students here are able to have access to these new areas of law, judicial pronouncements.
With so much gratitude, dignitaries present in their goodwill messages congratulate him with a charge to keep the flag flying.
An institution of a great repute, and they must have seen some things and identified individuals from the community, from the environment, and they know what they have seen in them, the qualities, and that's the same spirit I want them to operate within that same realms and see how they are going to impact positively not only in the school and also to improve on it and make Nigeria better.
Not only the upgrading of this, I even donated majority of his book, Law, and that is what Yemisi Shilon has done.
Prince Yemisi Shilon, former chairman, board of directors, Ogun State Television and Ogun State Broadcasting Corporation, and the chairman of the advisory board of the Nigerian Marketing Award, among others. Olaide Oloye, OGTV News.
The Academic Staff Union of Polytechnic has issued a 15-day ultimatum to the federal government to attend to numerous issues affecting the smooth operations of polytechnics and monotechnics in the country or face a prolonged industrial action. Addressing journalists at the Plateau State Polytechnic back in Ladi in Plateau State Zonal Coordinator, Zone B, Lumpie Simji, stated that the National Executive Council at its last meeting reviewed the current status of engagements with proprietors of public polytechnics, colleges of technology, and monotechnics in the country, specifically on some disturbing issues affecting the polytechnic sector. Some of the issues in contention for discussion and agitation include sustained reports of impunity and disrespect of clear provisions of the Federal Polytechnic Act, different edits establishing state-owned institutions and other instruments of governance in the sector, particularly as it affects the appointment of principal officers in federal and state-owned institutions, as well as other items of governance in polytechnics. Moving on, winners of the Team Yourself Up competition organized for school children across different states of the Federation by Dufil makers of Indomie noodles has been presented with cash prizes. The presentation was done during the grand finale of the competition held at the Staff School, University of Lagos, Akoka. Matthew Shomi completes the report.
As a way of encouraging family bonds, bringing out their artistic creativity and cleanup of the environments, the school children were asked by Dufil Premier Foods Limited, makers of Indomie noodles, to come up with different artistic creations from the waste of their products, with entries from Ogun, Lagos, Anambra, Enugu states, and the Federal Capital Territory. The grand finale is being used to showcase the results of the ingenuity of the school children.
One is to engage with the Nigerian children and bring out those artistic values that they have. They've actually collected what should have ordinarily been waste in terms of the cartons, in terms of the wrappers that they have collected. So those are things that they have put together to ensure that they create something out of it. Of course, there will also be a reward for everything that they have done. It's a nationwide program, and we expect that those who make it to the final, just like we have come to do here today, they will get some kind of reward.
It was a good time for the company to reward the loyalty of the children and their parents to the brand while contributing to the good of the society as well as bringing out the best in them.
What inspired us is bonding. We want the children and their parents to bond, family bonding. But we find out that most times you see parents are too busy for their kids. But there is this long vacation during the August break. So that is why we have decided that is the best period to get the children to come up with something and create. The first prize, which is 100,000 naira, and the grand prize, wow, 500,000 naira.
Overall best from the Eastern region, Ogun, Abuja, and Lagos states were presented with their cash prizes, while the first runner-ups, and the winner also received their prizes. Fife Homi Feishiton won the cash prize of 500,000 naira.
I feel so happy and excited about this. To be patient to make your craft, because before I could make my craft, it took me a long while. I almost gave up, but I had to continue. Thank you, that I love them so much for giving me this thing and for cheering for me.
There were special performances to entertain the children. Matthew Shoumi, OGTV News.
The Medical and Health Workers Union of Nigerian National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control Branch has vowed to continue its ongoing strike action till their demands are met. In an interview on Saturday in Kaduna, the chairman of the chapter, Adetoboye Ayodeji, said it was left for the agency's management to call the union for negotiation in order to see actionable evidence that things would be done appropriately. Workers of the agency began an indefinite strike on October 7 to demand the review of the 2024 promotion examinations. The strike was also to address the allegations that the majority of the staffs were not promoted as a result of the purported vacancy slot from the head of service, even when they all qualified to be promoted. He explained that the union had earlier signed an agreement with the government and NAFDAC management in 2022, bordering on the workers' condition of service, which ought to have been finalized. Celebration of life comes in different ways, especially when it has to do with the life of a strong family pillar and a deeply religious woman who by all standards touched lives and made indelible marks on the sand of time. For Madam Patience Deniola Oyekon, who bade the world goodbye at the ripe age of 97 years, this aptly described her final journey home as she got a befitting farewell ceremony with a church service held at Christ Bethel Anglican Church, Empire Ground, Ilaro, Ogun State. In Kemago completes the report.
A life well lived usually calls for celebration, though it is always painful to lose loved ones, but death is inevitable. For the children and extended family of late Madam Patience Teniola Oyekon, the matriarch of the Oyekon family in Ilaro, the only way to celebrate her sterling qualities is to accord her a befitting funeral and Thanksgiving service, and this was not below expectations of all who came to pay their last respects. The funeral mass started with a procession of officiating ministers, our children and grandchildren. The vicar, Reverend Olufemi Akodo, preached about the ephemerality of human life. He said Madam Oyekon's funeral is a celebration of life well spent, as she lived a life worthy of emulation.
If you are given grace, you are able to spend 40, 60, 80 years. And by the grace extended to Mama, Mama spent 97 years. If by venture you have the same grace, and afterward you depart from this world, what will you be remembered for?
Madam Oyekon's remains were laid to rest at the church cemetery with biblical dust-to-dust rites. The children and grandchildren described her as a very loving and caring woman who is going to be greatly missed by all.
Yeah, like her name reflects patience. She has taught us to be patient. In everything we do, we should be patient. And that's who she is. Very patient in everything. She's an embodiment of love. She loves everybody around her. Mommy is an embodiment of the spirits, of the fruit of the spirits, like patience, love, endurance, and also peace. And she is also a prayer warrior. She always prays for we, the children, and for all the relatives.
Somebody that's even have a total commitment in everything that she's doing.
Madam Patience Teniola Oyekon was married to late Chief Jas Adebiyi Oyekon. She died at the age of 97 in Kem Agu. OGTV News.
On the foreign scene, at least 87 people were killed in Israeli strikes in the city of Beit Lahia in northern Gaza, the Hamas-run authorities say. Israel says it's checking reports of casualties and accused Hamas authorities of sharing exaggerated figures. Meanwhile, in Lebanon, Israel also resumed airstrike on what it said were Hezbollah targets in Beirut's southern suburb, with residents in Ariet Irik and Adat ordered to evacuate early on Sunday. The latest attack comes after a drone was launched towards Benjamin Netanyahu's home in northern Israel while he wasn't there. The Israeli Prime Minister described it as a grave mistake and said Iran and its forces will pay a heavy price. Iran said Hezbollah was behind the drone strike. And finally, in the world of sport, Nigerians Flamingo made a bold statement at the FIFA Under-17 Women World Cup in Dominican Republic with a 4-0 thrashing of Ecuador in their second Group A match on Saturday night at Estadio Cabildo San Diego. The Los Cabrilos Bancole Olowo Okere side dominated their Southern American opponent from start to finish, securing a decisive results that has propelled them to the tournament's quarter-final, the first team to do so, having secured 6 points from 2 matches. Shakirat Moshood scored a brace, opening the scoring in the 28th minute from the penalty spot and rounding off the match with a goal 6 minutes into added time. Nigeria is expected to claim a straightforward victory when they face the Dominican Republic in their final group game stayed at Estadio Olimpio Felix Sanchez Santo Domingo on Wednesday. The Flamingos finished third in the last edition in India and have participated in every edition of the competition since its inception in 2008, reaching the quarterfinals in 2010, 2012 and 2014.
Melanie Pozo on for just a moment. Moshood will go for goal and almost finds it. Pozo with the save. An awkward dipping shot. Chidi. Effiong in the middle pull back. Brilliant finish. Shakirat Moshood. It's a 4th goal for Nigeria. Superbly placed. Well, what a game that was. Nigeria 4, Ecuador 0.
We now round off the news with the words of Ralph Emerson. What we fear of doing most is usually what we most need to do. Not to forget that you can watch us on Facebook at Ogun TV and Ogun State Television, on YouTube at OGTV Abeokuta, and on OGTV websites www.ogtv.com.ng/live. And for the latest news and reports, check us on this platform, X at Ogun TV, Instagram at Ogun State Television, or download OGTV app on Apple Store and Google Play Store. And that wraps up news at 2 minutes. Thanks for watching. I am Opeyemi Adeomi. Goodbye.